Hi and welcome to another Monday Live. In fact, it is live, but I've been doing lots of recordings because I'm going away soon. On Thursday of this week, I'm off to a cruise up to Newcastle. And because of that, I'm going rather early on Thursday. So I'm doing the teams this week on Tuesday evening, so tomorrow evening. So please bear that in mind. If you like watching that, I'm going to do that on Tuesday. Of course, you can watch it on Wednesday evening, but it'll be live on the Tuesday. And yes, we're going up to the Balmoral and then off to Scandinavia, so hopefully have some fun there. However, let's stick to what's been going on, and that is the charity run. So we managed it. We did manage it. Thank you for your support. The page is still up on the website of the banner there. But Helen has put this together. So if you bear with us for just 45 seconds or so, it might be slightly loud, so bear that in mind. But I will just show you this that she's put together. She will edit it properly later on if you want to see the whole thing. So. Oh, and of course there's a video as well. So those are the pictures. There was the pictures. Here comes the video. So hopefully that gave you a flavour of what was going on. It was quite hard work, but the weather, I have to say, was gorgeous. It really was. In fact, if I'd known it was going to be so good, I wouldn't have been wearing my tracksuit. I'd have had my shorts on. But as I say, thank you very much for your support, and thanks for Gowie for joining us. That's Gowie from the office. That was the extra man that you saw there. Yes, it was a lovely day, and I think Alfie enjoyed it as well. So we'll see. We'll have to make other plans maybe for next year. But don't forget, we've got another event coming up in November, December, which I will be announcing pretty soon, which will be about some seminars that we're going to do in various clubs around the country. So that's exciting. That'll be in November, December time. So look out for that. Okay, so what have we got for the rest of today? We're in Slam A, of course, and we are responding to NoTrumps and getting to slams after NoTrump opening bids. Not easy. Those of you who watch the big seminar, well done for getting through it. Hopefully you take bits of it, but please do send in your hands if you've got any interesting hands opposite NoTrump openings, etc., or any kind of slams. I love to see them. And when I get back from the cruise, it'll be a bank holiday. So I've recorded the next Monday, then there's a bank holiday, but on June the 1st, I'll do one more little one on slams, and we will hopefully have some example hands, etc., to look at and see how we get on. Fridays, of course, are finessing, and I've had them on my mind a lot because I did the last Friday live and I've just recorded 2 more. So, yeah, no, amazing. Trying to build up a few things that I can put together as advice on finessing, as it were, and hopefully that will be useful when we get to a place where I can suggest certain things you can remember and those kind of things about finessing, because finessing is so important and it comes up so much of the time, doesn't it? We'll also have a bidding quiz at the end and our 5-level decisions. So let's look at that to start with. Here we go. So this is the one that some of you will have seen on the Friday. You're non-vulnerable against vulnerable. Partner opened with a weak 2. Now you chose 3 hearts. We'll have a look at that later, see whether we agree with that bid. But it then goes 3 spades past 4 spades. And it's your bid. Okay, so 2 hearts double. You chose 3 hearts, 3 spades past 4 spades, and it's your bid. What do you think about that? Okay, so an interesting one, and we will come back to that, as I say, after the little seminar. Okay, in terms of the holidays, we have, sorry, that's the one I was looking for, because we were going to just look at the Greece there. So really looking forward to Greece. Going out for a 5-star event in Crete there. That's for just the week, but very exciting. You'll notice that with the holidays, things will have changed. So we're going to give you a package price. We're going to give you a choice of many flights. We will probably have one which we will have as the mainstay, as it were, and you'll be amongst other people. But if you want to go from your own airport or this or that, we will try to offer all sorts and give you the package, including that flight. Or for that matter, you can actually take a package and do the flight yourself. But we can do that for you and add it in. So that's exciting, and that'll be coming. And of course, next year we'll be launching very soon for you as well. There was one more thing I had. Oh yes, gosh, yes, I've got to go along here. There we go, the anniversary. And that's exciting. So 6 years coming up. We love to give prizes away, and look at that there. The same old thing, as it were, but still wonderful. A BNB UK event for 2. A year's subscription. Q Plus software, 17. A hamper worth £50, over £50 usually, and a £50 gift voucher. So a really, really lovely set of prizes. All we need you to do is do something. Go on social media, do something that people see, or send in something to me, send in hands, do all sorts of things. We want to see you active. And that anniversary coming up next month, of course. And you've got the whole of June. Whole of May and June to do it. We're giving you lots of time to get involved and get lots of tickets in the raffle, as it were, and give yourself a chance to win a lovely prize. So hopefully you look forward to that. Here we go. Let's go to the little slam. So I'm taking this from the big seminar. As I say, some of it's tricky, so bear that in mind. But let's look at the topics that were dealt with in the big seminar. There was quantitative bidding, which we'll touch on today. Major suit bidding, that is okay-ish, but we'll see a tricky bit today. And now we can talk about transfers and Stayman. 1 no trump and 2 no trumps. 1 no trump comes up more, and there's more room. 2 no trumps is really tricky, and we'll look at some of that next week. The major thing that will be slightly different and difficult will be the impossible major, which I will mention today. So close your eyes if you don't want to talk about the impossible major. Minor suit bidding to opposite 1 no trump. There is an opportunity to bid strong hands with 3 clubs and 3 diamonds. Over 2 no trumps, it's really tricky. So yeah, really tricky. And let's be honest, often we just end up in 3 no trumps making however many tricks and realise that we should have been in 6 clubs or 6 diamonds. We've seen that even without no trump opening bids, bidding minor suit slams is difficult. All of our bidding seems to be around bidding to the majors, and the reason is because that's the times that we want to generally be in the suit contract. So it is tricky, and we sometimes have to accept that we're going to miss those slams. It's a nice feeling to bid them though. Let's look at quantitative bidding first. Hopefully we're familiar with it. We're certainly hopefully familiar with 1 no trump, 2 no trumps, 3 no trumps, which is a type of quantitative bidding. Most of the time we talk about quantitative bidding, though, we talk about bidding towards a slam. And the reason why we talk about that is because it's got this 4 no trump bid, which, if immediately preceded by another no trump bid, is definitely quantitative, because we're not just interested in 4 aces and 4 kings. Because what do 4 aces and 4 kings make? They make 8 tricks. We need queens and jacks as well, and therefore it's all about looking for 33 points rather than rather than looking for all your aces and kings. Okay, so you're looking for the partnership to add up the points and aim for 33 points. And today, of course, I'm focused on no trump opening bids. The quantitative bidding can be much more difficult if it goes a club, a diamond, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 2 no trumps, 2 no trumps, 4 no trumps, because it can be difficult to know. So I made that up, so don't worry about the specifics. But the idea is you're not quite sure what you've got or what is minimum or maximum. Whereas if we've opened a no trump bid, of course, we should be pretty sure of what the range is and therefore what the minimum and maximum is. So our direct raise in no trumps is invitational. 1 no trump, 2 no trumps invites game. 1 no trump, 4 no trumps invites slam. The responses are simple. You pass if you don't think slam is on. You bid 6 no trumps if you think slam is on. Okay, it's the same with the invite to game. You pass if you don't think game is on. You bid game if you think is. There's no 5 no trump response. Okay, it's all about 6 or 4. Okay. And clearly if partner is maximum, he goes for 6. If he's minimum, he stays in 4. If he's in the middle, well, we're going to do evaluation. Okay, so for 6 no trumps, remember you're aiming for 33 points. So here's a simple example without quantitative bidding. Okay, hopefully, because it's going to go 2 no trumps. East has 13 points. Doesn't matter about the aces and kings. East is thinking, well, we've got 33 points. I'm bidding 6 no trumps. Okay, simple as that. Okay, on some rainy days you might find you can make 7 clubs, but it's going to be very, very difficult to find out. Okay, or 7 diamonds for that matter. Okay, but clearly here, no fits at all. 6 no trumps is a wonderful contract. The only card you're going to lose is the ace of hearts, and of course what you would do is knock that out straight away. It's important to do that. You've got 10 tricks outside of hearts. Okay, 4 diamonds, ace, king, queen of spades, ace, king, queen of clubs, that's 10. King of hearts knocks out the ace. If it doesn't knock out the ace, you play the queen of hearts. And if they duck that again, you've already got your 12 tricks and you might make a 13th on a squeeze. Okay, so ducking an ace is good, but it's important to pursue your extra tricks. And the key here is the queens and jacks are just as good as the aces and kings. The jack of diamonds and the queen of diamonds are making tricks. The queen of clubs is making a trick. The queen of spades is making a trick. And actually, once the king loses to the ace, the queen jack of hearts are making tricks. So just as important. Now, the problem comes when you've got 11. So partners open 20 to 22. You've got a reasonable 11 count because your ace, queen and king, queen together are quite nice. Okay, you haven't got any 10, 9s or 8s, but that's by the by. So for me here, I would feel that if partner had 22 points, most of the time we're going to make a slam. So therefore, I want to be in slam when he has 22 points. How do I know? I ask him. Okay, 4 no trumps says partner. Are you minimum or maximum? Okay, so if you think you might have 33 points, it is your job to try either to bid slam like we did on the last hand or to invite slam. Okay, so a bid of 4 no trumps immediately after another no trump bid is quantitative. It invites partner to bid slam with a maximum hand. So let's look at that. Okay, 2 no trumps. 4 no trumps. Let's count up what partner has. He does indeed have 22 and he would bid 6 no trumps. Okay, on this occasion, if clubs break evenly, you've got 11 tricks off the top and the king of hearts would be would knock out the ace for a 12. Okay, you'd maybe test your diamonds first and then play your clubs or whatever, but you'd probably you maybe play clubs first. No, I think you'd play a heart to the king first probably, wouldn't you, and hope things go well, and then try and pick up the clubs. It would be nice to have 2 options, but I think you'd settle for your normal 12 tricks then. Okay, you won't always make 33 points most of the time. It's a bit like when you've got 25 points for a game, you won't always make, but you're trying to bid the most sensible contract, and the odds tell you that with 33 points you've got a good chance. So let's just give ourselves a test. If partner opens 1 no trump, how much strength, what do you need for a slam invite? So 12 to 14 points for a slam invite. Well, with 21 you would definitely have 33. With 20, you're not sure. With 19, you'd have the perfect amount to invite. Remember, with 20, you usually have to make your decision. If you had 20 points, if it was a good 20, I would just bid 6 no trumps. If it was a bad 20, I would treat it as a 19. So if you're in the middle ground, you have to make the decision. Okay, so here with 19, you're saying partner, if your maximum bid slams, so you would bid 4 no trumps. Over a 2 no trump opening, 20 to 22, we've just seen that. We did it on 11. Okay, and I could just as equally here put in a strong no trump. Any ideas if you were 15 to 17, what you would require? Okay, well, you take the maximum away from 33. So 15 to 17, 33 minus 17 is 16. So with 16 opposite a strong no trump, that is what you'd use the 4 no trump bid with. Okay, so what if you're in the middle? So if you're responding with 12, again, same as I said with 20. If your maximum, so if you think it's a good 12, you just go for slam. If you think it's a bad 12, you treat it as 11. So we need this evaluation, and we're going to have it in response as well. So if partner asks you, are you minimum or maximum, and you've got 21, what do you do? Whenever you're in the middle, it is your job to decide whether you're in the upper middle, or i.e. you're going up, or when you're going down. So a good 12, I go for 6 no trumps. For a bad 12, I bid 4. What is good and bad? Well, that's hand evaluation for you, and we've dealt with that many a time, and we'll look at some hands here. 2 no trumps, 4 no trumps. Partner, are you minimum or maximum? Partner's got 21, and those of you who know how much I love 4, 3, 3, 3 hands will know that that is a bad 21. In fact, it's really more like a 20. So we would just pass 4 no trumps. And it's the lack of lengths that make the difference. So if you had 4, 4 in the minors, then of course you'd hope to make 8 tricks in the minors, but that, you know, and would maybe have a chance of the slam. Here, you're going to need a 3-3 diamond break and luck in hearts to make 6 no trumps, and that is far and away off, you know, so you're talking about more like 25% chance as opposed to anywhere near 50%. Okay, so that is quantitative bidding. I'm going to just touch upon this, impossible major, if you're happy. So I'm hoping you are familiar with quantitative bidding. You may not be familiar with this idea. Okay, so first of all, when is 4 no trump blackwood is tricky as well. Okay, so these are the subjects that come up in the big seminar. We're not going to cover them all now. How do you make slam chais and transfer breaks and showing 2 suitors? So transfer breaks and showing 2 suitors I will talk about next week. Transfer breaks are particularly important when you're if you're trying for slams opposite a 2 no trump opening. Okay, remember with the 1 no trump opening, you've got enough time, the responder has enough space to show a strong hand. They can transfer and then bid a second suit. Over 2 no trumps, you don't really have that much time to do it. You're at the 4 level already when you do that, you see. Okay, so this one is always a bone of contention. Okay, there is what the standard bidding is and what you might want yourself. So the standard understanding here, if you are never discussed it with a partner, would be that 4 no trumps is quantitative. So 2 no trumps, 3 clubs, stamen, 3 hearts, 4 no trumps would be a quantitative bid. I have to say, I don't mind if you choose as a partnership not to, because I like to have simple agreements. And one of my agreements tends to be 4 no trumps. A jump to 4 no trumps after a suit bid generally agrees the last bid suit. So that is quite a nice agreement. The only thing you could say here is that West hasn't. Well, I don't know. West has bid a suit. So, I mean, I don't mind. But the standard agreement here is that 4 no trumps is a quantitative bid. And the reason it is standard with experts is because experts don't mind having difficult agreements, and of course we're going to come across this impossible major in a second, and that is what an expert bids when when they want to agree the major. Okay, so that in theory is a quantitative bidding. Okay, but you can, as a regular partnership, choose to have it otherwise. Don't get me wrong, that is your prerogative. But but understanding that the standard would be quantitative. Okay. So what do I mean by this impossible major? When you bid Stayman and partner shows one major, why would you bid the other one? Okay. So what do I mean by that? Well, you know, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades. If I then bid 3 hearts, why am I doing that? Surely that's impossible. Because 2 spades, for example, has denied hearts. And if you had longer than 4 hearts, you would have bid a transfer. Now, you might say, well, I made a mistake and I wanted to undo it, but that's not good enough. Okay, so clearly if you had a long major, you would have transferred to that major. So why have you bid Stayman? And the key is, we bid Stayman because we've got at least 1 4-card major. So I think you've made an impossible bid, and we're going to use that impossible bid to agree the first major bid. It makes no sense to make a bid in the other major a level above. I should say at a level above. Notice those words because that's quite important. It is impossible. So we use that to agree partner's major. And it isn't easy otherwise to do it. So let me show. There was plenty of room to agree the major over 1 no trump. You can either make a splinter bid if you're familiar with those, or you can bid the impossible major. Over 2 no trumps, it is always tricky. And we'll have a little look at that maybe next week or on the last Monday on the slams, but you can see it in the big seminar. Today, I'm just going to look at this auction. 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades. I've got 18 points and 4 spades with you. Okay, so I've responded to 1 no trump. I've bid 2 clubs, you've bid 2 spades. I've got 18 points. Now remember, with 30 or more points and a fit, you should be thinking of a slam. Okay, so how do I agree 2 spades? Well, in theory, 4 no trumps here is quantitative. So I've maybe got 4 hearts, I've got 19 points, 4 no trumps, partner, sorry, we haven't got a fit in spades, but have you got a minimum or maximum? The key when you've got a fit, of course, is that suddenly you don't need the queens and jacks so much. Maybe if you've got singletons and doubletons, ace and kings are all right. So quite often you might want blackwood. So you need to agree the suit. This 3 heart bid, try and think it through in your mind. Why would I bid 3 hearts in this auction? If I'd had 5 hearts or more and fewer than 4 spades, I would have transferred. So I could have natural hearts, but if I have, I must have 4 spades. So I must be agreeing spades. It is an impossible bid. These are the kind of hands. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is just a 15 count, but it's a 15 count with a singleton. So it's quite an exciting hand. Okay, so it goes a no trump, Stayman, and partner bids 2 hearts. What might you bid with the east bid here? Okay, and this is only if you're familiar with it, but this is a beautiful option you've got here. So this isn't going to be the impossible major. You've got a classic option here, which is a splinter bid if you've not come across it before. It's a beautiful bid. What it says is, look, partner, we may not have the high card point strength for a slam, but I love your heart bid. I've got a singleton in diamonds. If you fit well with that singleton, I think we may have a chance for a slam. So 4 diamonds, it's a jump, remember, it's a jump to the 4 level here over a major, and it's saying, partner, I've got a singleton diamond. I do think there's a chance for slam, because remember, those of you who count losers, it's a 5 loser hand. Those of you who count high card points, 15 high card points plus a singleton is 18, plus a 5 card suit. Okay, so you're looking 18, 19 points, so it's definitely in the range. West fits beautifully with it, with the ace of diamonds, so he will probably, hopefully, show a cupid 4 spades, and that is enough to go for it. 4 no trumps, we go for it. We get 2 key cards and we bid 6 hearts. Okay, it's not perfect. I've given the jack of clubs is a key card, so you're never going to be sure. But usually, if the splinter fits well, so you've got the ace of diamonds opposite the singleton, rather than the king. So if I change the ace to the king, it would just finish in 4 hearts, and that would be high enough. Here, though, what a great contract it is. And again, I think most people are in 4 hearts plus 2 on this hand. Okay, instead, you should make a relatively comfortable, I hope, 6 hearts. Okay, how about this one? 1 no trump. Now, you are sitting with 18 points here. This is a big hand, isn't it? It's a big hand with a lovely 5-card club suit. So I think it's worth 19. So I'm going to try Stayman first, though, because if I've got a major suit fit, I'll be happy. Oh, I'm excited now. Partner's bid 2 spades. So I'm excited. How do I show that excitement? I cannot bid a splinter. I want to agree the major. So as I say, this is not going to be easy. And in an untried partnership, I'm not even sure I would recommend it. But if you were playing with a reasonably good player, etc., there is the hope that they might understand what 3 hearts means. So I'm going to bid 3 hearts, the impossible major, to say, partner, I love that spade bid. I don't just think 4 spades is on. There may be something more. So it's game forcing. It's an exciting bid. It's showing the equivalent of 18 or 19 total points, as it were. Because remember, without the singleton, the hand needs the high card strength. Okay, and of course, partner can cubid if she or he wishes. Okay, 3 clubs is natural, Alan. That is true on this one. That is true. I prefer a 6-card club suit. Prefer a 6-card club suit, but I was going to say West looks like 13 there. But yeah, no, that's okay. That is true. But that 3 clubs does not agree spades, Alan. That's the key here. So 3 clubs would usually in this auction say I've got 4 hearts and 6 clubs. Does that make sense? So if you bid 3 clubs, you are not agreeing the major. You are, in fact, specifically saying I don't have the major. Does that make sense? Okay, so as I say, it shows 6 clubs, but 4 hearts, not 4 spades. And so partner would just bid 3 no trumps over it. Okay, but it is tricky. I mean, you might be able to show your hand eventually. So 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 3 hearts. Why on earth are you bidding that? Okay, you must be excited for some reason. What would you bid with the West hand? Well, you've got no reason not to say you're vaguely excited. You've got 2 aces, so you would cubid 4 clubs. Okay. And at this point, of course, West would cubid 4 hearts, which is lovely. That's a nice auction. Hopefully one of us has got diamond control. And that's the key. East is denying diamond control there, so we finish in 4 spades. Okay. Again, this is cubidding now, so it's not easy. I'm going to show you one more auction there to get us to a slam, and then I think we'll call it a day, because this is tricky, isn't it? Okay, so you have to have understood what the 3 heart bid is, and then understand that 4 hearts is a cubid. So don't get excited about hearts, partner. We've agreed spades, so this is tricky. However, just change the hand around and I'll give West a horribly flat hand, but 3 aces, and that's what I want you to be aware of here. It's the 3 aces that we're excited about in that hand. So here again, it would go 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 3 hearts. I agree, spades, partner. 4 clubs, okay, I'll cubid something. 4 hearts, I think. So West is is really excited about a slam here. Okay. Tough bid though I think for West. Could they bid Blackwood? Okay, maybe 5 diamonds. But you know, if you're getting to slams on these hands, you are probably in a tried partnership. But the difficult thing here is there's 12 tricks off top. Can you see that? There's 12 tricks off top. There's only 31 high card points. So if it goes 1 no trump, 4 no trumps, it's going to go pass. Does that make sense? West is looking at a flat 13, 4, 3, 3, 3, no 10s, so that they should just be passing 4 no trumps. And as it is, obviously, as you'll see, 4 no trumps, you are going to make a grand slam here if the spades break 3-2. I think if you bid 6 spades, you have probably done pretty well. Notice you do make 6 spades plus 1, though, assuming spades break. Can you see that? So you might be thinking, well, there's 12 off the top, 6 no trumps. But if spades break 3-2, you draw the spades and you'll make a ruff in one of the hands. So you obviously discard all the diamonds on the clubs and you can ruff a heart in the east hand. So 6 spades plus 1 would be a great score. Can we bid it? Oh my goodness. I think a lot of you, I'm going to be honest, I think a lot of people would bid 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 4 no trumps, hoping partner takes it as blackwood. And who knows, partner may well take it as blackwood. Partner shows 3 aces and ace would bid 6 spades. So it's not great, it's not massively scientific. Partially because 1, it shouldn't be blackwood, and 2, you've got a weak diamond suit. But, you know, maybe that's the way, because getting an auction like this right looks really tough to me. You know, but that is the impossible major in action. Whew. Wow. Okay. Have I got another one? I think I'm going to... All right, we'll look at this one. Okay. 1 no trump, 2 clubs, same. So this is from the big seminar, but I mean, these are tough hands. 2 hearts here. 2 spades is conceivably natural. Okay, so the idea is if you've got an invitational hand with 4 spades, you may well bid 2 spades in this auction, saying, partner, I haven't got hearts with you. But I have got 4 spades. Would you like to play in 2 spades, 3 spades, 4 spades, 3 no trumps, etc., etc. Okay, or 2 no trumps. So it's always at a level higher is the answer. So if you want to bid the impossible major, which I think is a good bid here, you would have to bid 3 spades. All East wants to do is bid blackwood. That is all he wants to do. Does that make sense? He has a wonderful hand. He's missing 4 aces. He wants to know if you've got 2, 3 or 4. I think that's reasonable. You might only have 1 and he gets too high, but it seems reasonable. So he just wants to agree hearts as trumps. Okay, so here his only option is, I think, to bid 3 spades. So that's, again, 2 spades is not impossible. That's the problem. Okay, so 3 spades looks like a splinter. And we don't mind because we're going to bid blackwood anyway. So here we go, 3 spades, partner would bid some kind of cubid and we would bid blackwood. So absolutely, Alan, 3 spades sounds like a splinter, but I don't mind that. Okay, because I don't mind if partner doesn't like it. So let's say partner had, I don't know, ace, queen, jack in spades and bids 4 hearts over the splinter, or even 3 no trumps or whatever. I would bid 4 no trumps. My 3 spades agrees the suit. That's the important thing. Okay, and 4 no trumps, partner would show 3 aces and we'd finish in 6 hearts. Okay, I mean, 6 hearts looks pretty good. You would need really North to lead a spade here and South to have the ace queen. If your opponent's doubled the 3 spade bid, you may decide not to go for slam. Does that make sense? So if South doubled the 3 spade bid in the auction, you might think, oh dear, a spade lead coming through my king, and you might sign off, as it were. But obviously if North has the ace, he'll probably lead it. If he leads away from the queen, so if a small spade is led, you'll probably play small. And unless South has the ace queen, if South's only got the ace, he puts the ace up. If he doesn't put the ace up, your jack will win. So I think it's a pretty good slam here. And obviously if they don't lead spades, you can discard them and you're going to make a diamond ruff for your 12 tricks. So on a non-spade lead in the 6 hearts, you will make 12 tricks, hopefully pretty comfortably, by just taking 1 diamond ruff, drawing trumps and making all those lovely clubs. Okay, so a lot of tough hands there. So, I mean, you've got to decide whether that's within your realm of sense and sensibility, as it were. A lot of the stuff in the 2 no trumps that I in this seminar are on the edge of reason, as it were, and you've got to decide. Next week we'll talk about 3 spade response to 2 no trumps. I think that's okay, actually. It's not going to come up that often, but it's an impossible bid, again, because you play transfers. So it doesn't seem unreasonable to have an agreement with it. And I feel so sorry for the majors in a lot of these auctions that I think it's not unreasonable over a 2 NoTrump bid to use it. So that's something that we'll look at next week. And I'll be recording that one, of course. Okay, so we've got the 5-level decision that we've had a little look at, and then we'll look at the bidding quiz to finish. So let's go there. So what would you have bid over 2 hearts double? Cool, it's tricky, really, really tricky. In a way, you've got to make a decision early here. I mean, if you're going to bid 3 hearts, you're not really preempting. They're probably going to find their best fit in a way. If you jump to 4 hearts, you are putting them under pressure a bit more. But will you follow up with 5 hearts? I think the most important thing here is how many tricks do you need to make 5 hearts a good proposition? How many tricks do you need to make between you? And hopefully you're familiar with that. So 4 spades is worth 620. We're assuming it's going to make. Remember, partner should not have 4 spades with his opening bid. And this is one of the main reasons. Imagine partner has Jack 10 to 4 spades. You would be appalled by him. Okay, or her for that matter. Okay, you know, the reason we don't have a 4-card major beside our other major when we make a preempt in front of partner is so that partner can make a judgment here. We know they have at least a 9-card spade fit. Partner won't have much outside hearts because of the vulnerability, so I'd expect them to make a comfortable 4 spades here. That's 620 points. 5 hearts, we need 8 tricks. 3 off doubled. So we're expecting to be doubled, 3 off doubled. So if I give partner ace king to 6, okay, then we're likely to make a spade rough. Okay. So yes, it's a reasonable option. But bear in mind that if partner's got king jack to 6 hearts, and at this vulnerability that's perfectly reasonable, if they lead a trump, and then trump and trump, you could end up going for 800 here. So be aware of that. Now, over the double, 5 hearts is a little bit aggressive, I think. But what I want you to do is just decide what you're going to do over 4 spades. And if you're going to bid 5 hearts, I quite like a 5-heart bid directly because it puts so much pressure on the opponents. So I quite like that, Alan. It's aggressive, but if you've decided you're going to bid 3, so when you're bidding over the double, you're expecting them to find a fit. 4 hearts is, I think, reasonable, but if you bid 4 hearts, I might just leave it in 4 spades because they might be guessing. The problem is, you know they've found the right thing. It's different when they bid 5 diamonds or something. You've got no idea what kind of fit they've got. Sometimes partner might even open 2 hearts with 4 diamonds on the side. But I do not expect partner to have 4 cards in spades here. And if he does, it's not going to be my fault if I bid 5 hearts. So it's really interesting. I mean, let's look at the whole hand. And have a look and see what the winning action is. Because as I say, I'm not really saying to you, oh, do this, do that. Because remember also, there will be times that partner's got a singleton club. Okay, he's on lead, he leads that singleton. You win the ace, you give him a rough. And who knows, you know, the hearts might break 2-2. So suddenly you find yourself making 4 tricks against 4 spades. So you've got to bear in mind that these are close decisions. Playing teams 800 when you feel 620 is making isn't complete disaster. How often are you going to make 300? Because that's the important thing. If you think you're only giving 300 away quite a lot of the time, then it's maybe worth it. Against reasonable defenders, though, you would feel that most of the time reasonable defenders will be leading 2 rounds of trumps at least. Okay, so that you are generally here, for example, only going to make 8 tricks. Against less seasoned opponents, if you manage to make 2 spade roughs, you're only giving 300 away here. Can you see the difference? So if they don't draw trumps at all, let's say they leave the ace of spades, switch to king of diamonds, and maybe the king of clubs after that, and they sort of carry on like that, you are going to be in a position to be able to ruff 2 spades in the east hand, and that will give you 9 tricks, and that is only 300. Also, there is the advantage of sometimes pushing your opponents higher. On this occasion, they will make 5 spades though, so you don't gain, but there will be times where your 5 heart bid inspires them to bid 5 spades and they go off. Having said that, there will be times that it might inspire them to bid a slam. So for me, I want you to make your decisions early. And if you feel that they're going to find their fit most of the time, and you're always going to bid 5 hearts, you might even just jump to 5 hearts straight away. What do you do with the south hand over 5 hearts? That's another 5-level decision, isn't it? 2 hearts, double, 5 hearts, south's next to bid. Because the hearts and the clubs in the south hand are really ugly, aren't they? But you'd expect partner to be short in hearts, not unreasonably. So maybe you bid 5 spades, but then partner might bid 6 spades and you go too high. So if you've made your decision early, it really makes it tough on your opponents. I mean, I'd feel 5 hearts is possibly overly aggressive. Maybe 4 hearts is better. But I quite like these advanced sacrifices because it puts them under pressure. All right, we've dealt with a lot today, haven't we? We have. I think you need a nice and simple, oh no, not so simple, bidding quiz, because this is a tricky topic we're on at the moment. 1 heart from east, 1 spade from you, 2 no trumps from east, 3 spades from you, 4 clubs from east, and it's your bid. Okay, so it's got a heart, a spade, 2 no trumps from partner, 3 spades from you, 4 clubs from partner, and it's love all. What do you think about that? So don't forget, you can get that answer on the website, whether you're a member or non-member. You can sign up for our bidding quiz, etc. But I can't help but recommend being a member and at least giving it a try. Remember, you don't have to be a member forever. You can do 1 month here, 1 month there, etc, etc. Don't forget, before I go, I'll just remind you of the program that's coming up. So Tuesday, so that's tomorrow night, we have the teams because I'm heading off on a cruise. I'm away for about 9 days. That swallows up 2 Fridays, but I have made recordings for them all. So Friday, Monday and Friday all recorded, and the Wednesday is a pairs event called Eurobro 17. Okay, so you can play those on Q Plus software, or we've got a LIN or PBN file which allows you to play them, but of course you don't have to play them. You can just watch me play them, and it gives me more time if I play it on the software. Commentating on pairs bridge is so much more difficult than teams because there's so much going on. So I like to have a little bit more time, whereas if you're playing a tournament, you have to. But please do give feedback, send in hands, do this, do that. Don't forget, I then come back for the Monday after next, but of course that's a bank holiday, so we're not going to be live then, so that then the next live then will be another teams. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all of that, and see you again soon, and don't have nightmares.